You spent years grinding for this number, years of saying no to vacations, skipping trips, watching everyone around you move faster while you stayed patient and kept stacking. And tonight, for the first time in your life, your bank account reads $100,000. You expected to feel like you won. Instead, something else creeps in, something you were not prepared for. Dread. Not because something went wrong, because something is about to. And nobody warned you this was coming. Here is what the financial gurus will not tell you. People who hit six figures are statistically more financially fragile 2 years after crossing that line than they were before they got there. I am going to walk you through 5 traps that activate the second you cross $100,000, and the 3 moves that people who actually build lasting wealth make in the first 12 months. Stay through trap 4. That one operates in total silence and has destroyed more financial futures than any market crash in history. First, the math nobody does. You made $100,000. After federal and state taxes, depending on where you live, you are actually holding between $52,000 and $68,000 in real, spendable income. You did not make 6 figures. You made 6 figures gross. Most people never calculate the real number until they are staring at a tax bill in January, wondering where everything went. But that is not even the trap. That is just the price of admission. There is a phenomenon in behavioral economics called the anchoring effect. The moment your brain sees $100,000 attached to your identity, it locks that in as the new normal. Everything beneath it suddenly feels like deprivation. That apartment you were comfortable in now feels like it is broadcasting failure. The car that never let you down now creates quiet shame in the parking lot. So you make reasonable upgrades. Nicer apartment, better car, upgraded neighborhood, new wardrobe, better restaurants. You are now spending $2,000 more every single month than you were 90 days ago. And here is what the data shows. At the $100,000 income level, lifestyle inflation consumes between 60 and 75% of additional income within 18 months. You came up from $65,000 and lived on 58 of it. Now you are making $100,000 and living on $92,000 of it. You went from $7,000 in annual savings to $8,000 in annual savings for a $35,000 raise. You did not build wealth. You built a lifestyle that now requires $100,000 just to maintain. Around month 8 or 9, something else hits. You are no longer excited about making $100,000. It is just Tuesday. The number that once felt impossible now feels ordinary. This is called hedonic adaptation. Your brain's reward system recalibrates to the new normal and eliminates the emotional response entirely. The high wears off every time without exception. So you chase a new number, 150,000, 200,000, a side business adding 50,000 more. You work harder than ever, and the psychological reward is somehow less than before. The goalpost keeps moving. And while you are running faster, your actual wealth stays flat because you are chasing a feeling instead of building a system. Now the trap nobody talks about out loud. The moment your income becomes known or assumed, your entire social network recalibrates around you. Parents see you as the family financial buffer. Friends invite you to trips costing $4,000. Saying no makes you seem stingy. Saying yes drains you quietly. You are now performing a wealth level your actual bank account cannot support. And here is the number that makes this brutal. The average household earning over $100,000 carries less than $10,000 in liquid savings. Not investments, not retirement. Cash accessible within 48 hours. High income, near zero cushion. Income castle built on a sand foundation. Trap 5 has a date. That date is January. When your income jumps significantly, your withholding rarely adjusts fast enough. If you are self-employed, quarterly estimates were probably too low. If you receive bonuses or commissions, they were likely withheld at the wrong rate. The result is a surprise bill between $8,000 and $18,000 that you did not plan for. People panic. They drain savings. They use credit cards at 24% interest. They make desperate investments trying to solve a cash problem fast. One avoidable surprise creates a cascade of bad decisions. The fix is simple. Set aside 30% of every dollar you earn into a separate account you never touch. Label it tax reserve. When January comes, you write a check and move on calmly while everyone else is in crisis. Now here is what actually works. 3 moves that feel counterintuitive but build real wealth. First, freeze your lifestyle the moment you cross 100,000. Live on what you made before for exactly 12 months. That gap between your new income and your old lifestyle is your actual profit margin. That is where compounding begins. Most people fill it with upgrades within 90 days. Leave it intentionally empty. Second, make the money invisible. The day you get paid, before you ever see your balance, an automatic transfer moves 20 to 30% of your income to a separate high-yield savings account at a different bank. You cannot emotionally react to money you never see. The transfer removes the decision entirely. Third, give every dollar a specific job. Not, I am saving money. That is a feeling, not a strategy. Instead say, 25,000 in a high-yield account covering 6 months of expenses by month 9. 40,000 for a rental property down payment by month 30. 60,000 in index funds by end of year 2. Specific goals create a psychological contract. The money has a mission. Spending it on anything else feels like stealing from your future self. The people who build real wealth from their first 100,000 do not look wealthy in year 2. Same car, comfortable but unimpressive apartment, same wardrobe, saying no to the group trips. To everyone outside, nothing has changed. That is exactly the point. Their peers who upgraded everything are now locked into a system requiring $100,000 just to stay still. One job loss, one health crisis, one market downturn, and it collapses because there is no margin between income and obligation. Wealth is not a number. Wealth is the gap between what you earn and what you need to survive. Someone earning $50,000 and spending $30,000 is wealthier in every meaningful way than someone earning $150,000 and spending $148,000. The $100,000 milestone does not make you wealthy. The decisions you make in the 12 months after hitting it determine whether you ever will be. So the question was never what happens when you hit 6 figures. The question is whether you are willing to feel like you have not made it yet for just a little while longer, so that 5 years from now, you have not just made it, you have actually kept it. Share this with someone who just crossed that line. They need to hear it before the upgrades start. Subscribe for the next video covering the exact saving structure, tax calendar, and 1-year wealth audit to run the day you hit 100,000.